Following reports back in December that the Indiana Pacers were open to trading a number of their veteran core pieces, it seemed like it was only a matter of time before a contending team took advantage of such plans. And so far, the Cleveland Cavaliers have been the first team to do that ahead of the trade deadline after sending Ricky Rubio, a 2022 lottery-protected first-round pick, and a 2027 second-round pick to Indiana in exchange for Caris LeVert and a 2022 second-rounder. Well, this move from the Cavs came as no surprise, sporting a 33-21 record while being just one game behind the top seed in the Eastern Conference. The Cavs have quickly entered win-now mode thanks to the development of their young core, which features All-Star Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley. However, it was apparent that the race for supremacy among the top-tier teams in the East was only gonna get tighter from here. And for a team like the Cavs, who currently ranks 21st in offensive efficiency, this situation definitely magnifies their need for some additional scoring, as well as some secondary playmaking to make up for the absences of Ricky Rubio and Collin Sexton. And looking at it, Caris LeVert's skill set would definitely help the Cavs in those areas. He's a 6'7" wing who's known for his scoring, but who can also get his teammates involved when he has to. This season for Indiana, LeVert has averaged 18.7 points and 4.4 assists while shooting just under 45% from the field and around 32% from deep. Without a doubt, these are some pretty good numbers for a wing player. However, the real question I think is, what would LeVert's fit really look like as part of this young yet playoff-ready Cleveland Cavaliers team? That's what we'll talk about in this video. So what's good guys, it's Rero Balls here, and before we move on, if you guys happen to enjoy this video, you can show your support for the channel by hitting that like button or by clicking that subscribe button. It only takes a second of your time, but it will be much appreciated. So let's get to it. Caris LeVert is from Columbus, Ohio, which means he'll be playing just a couple of hours away from his hometown. Also, with the Cavs, LeVert will be reunited with Jarrett Allen, who, same as him, was a foundational piece for the Brooklyn Nets before the team moved on from both guys last year as part of the James Harden deal. With that said, LeVert's off-court fit with the Cavs looks just about as natural as it can get. But how about his on-court fit? Well, first, on the day Ricky Rubio went down to injury, the Cavs actually had the 12th best offense in the league, but right now, they're at number 21. A lot of that has got to do with the team's sudden lack of on-ball downhill movement. Again, since Rubio's injury, no other Cavs player besides Darius Garland has averaged even 6.5 drives to the basket per game. Well, Caris LeVert is someone who can fix that, as his 16.3 drives per game this season ranks 10th in the NBA, and he's also shooting a solid 50.5% on those downhill drives. LeVert is just the kind of ball-dominant wing player who's shifty and creative with the ball in his hands and who can break down defenses off mid-range jumpers or drives to the rim. Well, he doesn't have a blazing first step, but he knows how to use some change-of-pace dribbles to get to his spot, and he knows how to use his ability to decelerate in traffic to create space against defenders. Just like here, after receiving the handoff, LeVert immediately attacks Westbrook's defense on a straight-line drive. Then you can see how he slows down just at the right time to get his shot off right at the rim. Then here, you can see LeVert's craft with the ball in his hands. He confuses the defense with a nice change of pace, then he creates separation before finishing the tough shot right in front of the basket. All in all, with LeVert, the Cavs are getting a wing who brings instant offense, who's averaging more than 18 points on 53% true shooting for the season. Well, to be fair, that true shooting percentage is still about 3 points below the league average, but I think it's still good considering he led Indiana in terms of usage this season at 26.5. That combination of true shooting percentage and usage rate pretty much lies within the same range of other great ball-dominant shot creators like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and CJ McCollum, who are also either first or second options for their teams. However, on the surface, because of LeVert's high ball usage and tendency to over-dribble, it could be hard to envision him fitting alongside other ball-dominant backcourt players, particularly because he has never really been a consistent floor spacer or a catch-and-shoot guy for that matter. Well, he's making 38.6% of his catch-and-shoot 3-point attempts this season, but he's only attempting less than 2 of those per game. Also, he's only a career 33% outside shooter, and this season, he's shooting just above 32%. However, I still think that pairing him with Darius Garland on the Cavs backcourt should still generate plus offense, simply because Garland is someone who could play off the ball just as he did earlier in the season alongside Ricky Rubio. But more importantly, also because I think we can expect the Cavs to utilize Garland, Evan Mobley, or Kevin Love's ability to create some nice passing windows in order to maximize LeVert's off-ball play, considering that the guy has displayed some nice off-ball movement while playing for Indiana. Just like in this clip, you can see TJ McConnell drive to the baseline, forcing the defense to collapse in the process. Then you can see LeVert making life easy for him by quickly cutting to the rim for the nice and easy finish. Again here, even before Sabonis gets the ball in the high post, you can already see LeVert preparing to hit the elbow, and as he gets to his spot, he simply drains the mid-range pull-up against the length of Porzingis. Well, obviously, plugging LeVert in with Garland on the backcourt wouldn't produce the kind of ball movement-heavy offense that a Rubio and Garland pairing were able to generate. However, I think the Cavs are still in a good position to get more out of LeVert's playmaking ability than most teams. And that is because this season, LeVert has displayed some real growth as a passer, particularly out of ball screens. Since Rick Carlisle took over the Pacers coaching job, LeVert's ball screen dominance in terms of usage has been very noticeable. As according to Synergy Sports, a whopping 34.7% of his possessions this season have come as a pick and roll ball handler. That's a huge increase from his previous high of 28.6%, which he put up last season. Also, according to NBA Advanced Statistics, the .96 points per possession that LeVert creates from hitting roll man out of ball screens actually ranks as the 14th best mark in the league. So given how much the Cavs offense revolves around ball screens and considering Jarrett Allen is one of the best rim-running big men in the NBA, Lauri Markannen is a good pick-and-pop guy, and Evan Mobley can pretty much become a mix of both, I think LeVert's fit with the team on a playmaking standpoint actually shows a lot of promise. Just like here, watch how LeVert breaks down the pick-and-roll defense. First, he attacks right at the level of the screen to keep the defense guessing, then as Miles Turner gets an open lane, watch LeVert dish out the perfectly timed bullet pass to the big man for the easy dunk. Again here, watch how LeVert sets up Sabonis out of the ball screen. He patiently attacks and snake dribbles against the defense, and once the drop big collapses towards him, he drops the last minute dime to Sabonis right under the rim. Needless to say, with Jarrett Allen and Kevin Love's ability to use pin downs and higher middle screens, as well as with Evan Mobley's ability to utilize quick slips, I think LeVert will pretty much be asked to do the same things he did with Sabonis and Turner on the playmaking end, only this time around he'll be doing it as the Cavs' primary distributor when Garland is on the bench. Cause right now, the Cavs are a minus 4.6 points per 100 possessions on offense without Garland on the floor, so I think it's during those times when LeVert could really make use of both his scoring and passing ability to the fullest. However, what you gotta love about LeVert as well is that he doesn't always have to rely on big men to produce points for him out of ball screen possessions, cause even in those instances when he can't find his roll man or when he can't get to the rim himself, he has the ability to launch a variety of shots from the mid-range, including some tough jumpers and some right-handed floaters. Just like here, you can see LeVert and Miles Turner looking like they're gonna run a lob play out of the pick and roll, but because of the tight drop defense, LeVert shoots his right-hand floater instead. Again here, watch LeVert weave through ball screens. On the second one, it looks like he's gonna be able to hit his big man with a pass, but he reads where the defense is going and he ends up shooting the 15-footer off the bounce instead. All in all, LeVert is shooting an above league average 54% from the mid-range out of pick and roll situations like those. This shows how he could open up space in the paint for the Cavs big man, who in turn can also open up space for him on the perimeter. Overall, I think this is about as good an opportunity as LeVert could have asked for, as he's going to a team that could use both his scoring and passing ability, provided it's used within the team's context. Also, I think this is exactly the kind of move you want the Cavs to be doing, since there's a real opportunity to win in the Eastern Conference with so much dysfunction around the Brooklyn Nets and a short offseason catching up with the reigning champs in Milwaukee. And for sure, trying to increase your playoff ceiling at the cost of a late first rounder and an early second round pick looks like a very worthy gamble at this point. Well, sure, LeVert will be paid a heavy $18.8 million next season just before his deal expires in the summer of 2023. But the thing is, Kevin Love's deal expires at the same time, so whatever the on-court results of this trade might produce, the Cavs should still have a lot of financial room to work with in terms of dealing with Evan Mobley's future extension. At the end of the day, adding Caris LeVert looks like a big win for the Cavs, cause by trading for him, they have addressed a desperate need for the team right now without even having to sacrifice the roster's long-term stability for the future. So what do you guys think? Does Caris LeVert really increase the Cavs' playoff ceiling, or better yet, is he the final piece of their championship core? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below, and again, if you enjoy these kinds of content, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. Again, this is Rero Balls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.